Welcome back to A People's Guide to Publishing. I'm Joe Beal, the founder and CEO of Microcosm Publishing and Distribution. I'm also the author of A People's Guide to Publishing, which distills what I've learned from selling millions of books over the past 25 years.
I'm Ellie Blue. I'm the editorial and marketing director here at Microcosm. We are an independent mid-list publisher based in Portland, Oregon, and Cleveland, Ohio. We have over 700 books, over 25 employees, and we make about 40 new books every year. And we distribute thousands of titles from other publishers.
We started this podcast so that we can share what we've learned with newer publishers so that you can learn from our mistakes.
Or maybe you just want to understand the publishing industry.
This week, we welcome back regular pod guest, Jessie Kwak, with her brand new From Dream to Reality, which teaches people who are aspiring freelance writers the ultimate dream, how to make a living as a writer.
Jessie, what was the inspiration for this book?
I really love talking about freelancing, and I love talking about the business stuff, and people would constantly ask me, like friends would be like, hey Jessie, can I buy you a beer and ask you about freelancing? And I would get emails from like random strangers being like, hey, I just have a few questions, I'm like thinking about getting into freelancing. And I did have like a copy and paste email that I would send that was like, here's all the resources that we talked about today. And so I started to realize like I have this spiel, like a set spiel that I'm always giving. So it was part that, and then the other part was every one of those people that I've talked to, like I can kind of tell during the conversation if they're going to take any of my advice or not. Because a lot of it is like, you know, they're like, how about this? How about this? And they get excited and they're like, what, how about this? Whoa, how about that? And I'm like, I get more excited because I'm like, oh, this is the fun part. This is how you do your finances. This is how the ebbs and flows. And like, not everybody wants to run a business. Some people just want to sit and write all day. And that's not what freelance writing is.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to write a book that kind of encapsulated everything I love about it, which turns some people off and excites other people. So basically to write a book where if you get to the end of it and you still want to be a freelance writer, awesome. Mm-hmm. You've got it. Let's do it.
I feel like the best business books, or really the best how-to books, are like that. Like their main function is even less to show you how to do it and more to like scare you off if you don't want to do it, or to save you from doing it if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best fan mail that like A People's Guide to Publishing gets, is the ones that are like, I really loved this book because it convinced me that I did not want to be a publisher.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, excellent, there's enough. Like,
think how much heartache you're about to save people who
and I was like, and the last thing you want is somebody that's bad at it, like doing it and getting authors excited and then not able, or they're just like not able to run the business end, which is not what it is.
Well, a lot of the advice out there for how to become a freelancer is like, it's easy, you just do this, this, and this.
Sounds
and
great.
then it's fun, and then you're living in Tahiti and writing on your laptop and making $1 million a month. And I'm like, okay, A, that's probably not going to happen.
Wait, you're not making $1 million a month?
I'm not.
Oh, because you're making 2, or?
I'm making 2, but that's because I live in Portland instead of Tahiti.
Oh,
if I lived in Tahiti, I'd only have to make $1 million.
Right, the resources are less. Yeah, it's true. I getcha.
Man.
I've never been to Tahiti, so I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's really expensive.
There might be a lot of gentrification.
It all depends, like, which resort you live on as a freelance writer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, but that's, I mean, and so, okay, so this person contacted you based on your freelancing website? They, like, found you that way? Or these people?
Oh, yeah, like, people who just found me, like, followed me on Twitter or found me on LinkedIn or were just be like, actually, one of the people that is, like, she's killing it as a freelancer, she just reached out of the blue and was like, hey, I live in Portland and would just love to, you know, chat with you for a second. And she actually asked if I like had a mentorship program and would accept money, and I was like, I will accept a beer or coffee.
That's adorable. That's the dream.
So great.
So you can like make a protege.
Yeah, like, but we met up and I was just like, oh dude, you've got it. You're like interested in this, and you're clearly I'm gonna say unemployable, but like in a good way. She was just telling about, you know, past job experience, and she's just like, I just want to do it my way, and I really want to. So I started this other little side business and this little side business, and like, yeah, you're like me. we don't want to work for people.
Right. And then there's that. Yeah.
So I have, maybe this is like slightly off topic, but maybe not. I guess there's so much discourse right now about like not asking people for free advice or not asking to pick people's brains over beer or coffee and like paying people what they're worth for consulting. But it sounds like you're actually like really enjoying getting these requests and I'm wondering like what is the part that you enjoy that makes that worthwhile for you?
I like meeting new people and I like making connections with people. I think most of these requests have come from friends, and so it's just like,
you're not going to be like, my consulting fees are $85.
Yeah,
right.
And it's not like it's every week. I mean, if somebody was emailing me every week asking for,
you'd write a book about it.
I'd write a book about it. Yeah, or I'd set up a consulting program or something, which I don't want to do. And
that's a whole different business.
Well, and like there's something to it that the kind of people that run a consulting business for any craft or profession are the people that aren't doing it.
Yeah.
And by and large aren't great at doing it.
Yeah.
So they're the last people that you want teaching a new generation to do it. So it's much better to have you, who is like successful at it, making a living as a writer.
Yeah, I don't have time to consult with you if you read the book.
Right.
I'm working.
And like pretty much every consultant that has ever pitched themselves to us is like less successful than we are. And we're like, well, why would we hire you? We would want somebody that's more successful.
Yeah.
You know, and it's an interesting, like, well, not even a conflict, it's like an interesting paradox where you're like, that's just how they're trying to make a living.
Yeah.
Is like, as a consultancy.
But it seems like part of your motivation, I mean, as a freelancer is obviously to work for yourself, but like also you like to build a community and build a network, and it sounds like you're doing other interesting things to do with that as well, if you want to talk about them.
Yeah, so as I just shared with you, I'm going to be doing a writing conference, an author conference in February.
A conference?
We've never talked off camera before.
Yeah, so this will be February of 2024, and it's partly for the learning, and the theme is around like directly connecting with your readers, and then partly for the community. So it's going to be a small event. It's capped at 150 people, and really my goal is for you to come in and like meet new people, learn a bunch of stuff, and like leave with business partners and lifelong friends and a community. Right. So
how would people find out about that if they were interested in?
Well, it is called the Author Alchemy Summit.
Nice.
You can go to authoralchemysummit.com, and right now it's a landing page that'll sign you up for a launch email list.
Will this be occurring in Portland, Oregon?
It will be occurring in Portland, Oregon, February 2024 at the Jupiter Hotel.
Nice.
Wow, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very chill.
Will there be an online component as well?
I'm still trying to work that out. Okay. I'll see how much. When you sign up for the launch list, like there's a survey, and I'm asking people if they're interested in virtual.
Yeah.
And I'd like to offer that. This is my first time organizing a conference, so I'm a little wary of being like, I'll do this and this and this and this.
Right. And
my husband's very good at being like, scale it down.
Right. And there's fatigue over online events is definitely setting in too.
Yeah. And it's hard to recreate that community in the online space, and so that's such a huge component.
Right. If that's what you're offering. Yeah.
But I'd love to be able to offer a stream of the speakers and panelists.
And do you think that most people participating are going to be other freelancers?
I think they'll mostly be authors, so probably a lot of indie authors, trad authors, but yeah, mostly people who are writing books.
Awesome.
All right. I guess as a freelancer, you don't really have a audience because your name isn't always appearing, or
no, especially since I do so much ghostwriting.
Right.
My name's nowhere, or I'm just listed as like the editor or book coach or things like that.
Right. So, but you probably develop fans that way, whether you know it or not.
Yeah.
As your name appears in things that people are like, that was well put together by somebody.
Who's this person's book coach?
Right.
I mean, we were all marveling, honestly, in the editorial department. We were all like, wow, Jessie knows how to write a book. She put that thing together. It was in good shape. It needed some edits, not very much. And then it was done, and it was just like, not a difficult project for anyone on our end. And it spoke to your skills and your qualifications.
I guess I can't remember if it was just right now or if it was the when we talked earlier, and you asked how many books I'd written. I wasn't even counting books I've written for other people.
Oh yeah,
a
now
growing
it's like
number.
hundreds.
Yeah, not hundreds. I think
Millions,
I've written
right.
5
Okay.
so far. Ghostwritten books.
What is, do you have a book that you're working on next that you're excited about that you want to share? Or a project for public consumption?
Right now I'm working on the 4th book of my sci-fi series, The Nancy Chronicles.
Nice.
So, I got the first 3 books in that series out last year, and I'm excited to get back to it and get back to the characters.
Nice. Do you have ideas for more nonfiction books?
Probably.
In time.
To be continued.
From
continued.
introvert to conference organizer.
Yeah, oh my gosh, we'll see how that turns out.
Okay, give it time. Give it
Yeah.
time. Thanks for joining us once again.
Please send your questions to podcast@microcosmpublishing.com so we can answer them on future episodes.
And please give us 5 stars on iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are reviewed.
You can find us on the internet at microcosm.pub,
On Twitter at Microcosm.
on Facebook at Microcosm Publishing,
On Instagram at Microcosm_pub.
and here in Portland, Oregon on North Williams Avenue.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful week.